right. Look, I think that's instant. Let's see if it went through. We are testing out a whole bunch of new things here, as you can see. Yep, it looks like we're live, so we are good.
Yay!
Look at us on here. We're looking on our phone right here just to see if everything looks good.
Yeah.
If anybody's in the comments, you could let us know if the audio sounds good, if everything's looking good, because we got we got a lot of things that are different here. You can see very different backgrounds. So you want to talk about why you wanted to go with this new background?
We just wanted to do something different, something more fun, bright, and cheery. I feel like everybody that has a YouTube channel has like this dark background with neon lights, and that's just not
What we
my
wanted,
vibe. I want things to be fun.
I like Emron's in here. How
Hi,
do you?
Emron.
All right. How do you do? Okay, cool. So like you can. So we're also on Ecamm. This is our first time using Ecamm. So
Lots of changes.
cool. Yeah. Let's see. I think. So Emron's in here, looking good, looking good. Yeah, it's got. What does he say? So I guess what do? You click this button, add to broadcast. Okay, cool. A homey, relaxing feeling.
We're gonna figure it all
As you can
out.
see,
This
we
is
don't
the
know
first time we're using this new software, but I think it's
Oh,
so
okay.
much better than
Yeah.
the
Let me
last one we
see.
used.
Yeah. All right, cool. I think Emerald, do you use Ecamm? I think you use Ecamm, right? This is a pretty cool little feature. What's this blur? So yeah, this live stream is just gonna be us kind of playing around, figuring
Yeah.
things out.
We haven't done a live stream in a while. We've
What is
had
this
a
button
busy
doing?
month. February was really busy, and March has been busy too. So we haven't done a live stream in
Yeah.
like 6 weeks. So
It's
hi.
been a little while. Oh, okay, here we
Welcome.
go. So there's shrink. How do you get rid of this blur? Because I don't really like that blur. Do you? Shadow.
You're asking the wrong person.
So yeah, we wanted to really test out how we like Ecamm compared to what we were using before. So far, I like it a lot. It's a
Yeah.
lot easier. It seems like it's much easier to kind of control things.
Blur right there.
Where?
There's just a button that says blur.
Oh yeah, I don't want that on at all. No. All right. Either way, we're just kind of
Whatever.
hanging out here. Sweet. Yeah, so you want to like show so we got a cool bookshelf on the back here. Let me hit remove. You want to move over real quick so you can see.
We're still working on stuff. We just have stuff that we like and that we've collected over the years. We're gonna add some more stuff to the wall and
And this
just
thing-
make it fun.
That thing turns on. We'll figure out if we want that on or not, but it looks okay sometimes when it's off, right? Yeah.
Well, I don't have a red halo around
Yeah,
my
it's
hair.
it's fine when it's one person, but so yeah, that actually came from YouTube. Like they sent us that, and then that's a Lego thing they sent. So for a few months, they were sending people, content creators, like you're able to opt in and
stuff.
get stuff. So I was like, you know what, YouTube, you can give us something once in a while. So that's what it is. And then we just have some other things she just bought here. And the bookshelf's cool because it kind of like waves. It's different. So the whole purpose of this was to be completely different than everybody else out there.
I just feel like that's who we are.
Yeah.
I am not into the dark and moody,
Yeah.
dramatic.
It doesn't really fit our
lighting.
brand because we do have yellow in our branding and a blue. That's why we have the blue curtain right here. So that's the reason why we decided to do that. And so that's kind of the new studio. And so far, Ecamm is so much better, I think, because we were
I
using
agree.
a web one called like Wave Video. So I had a good deal for a year.
It was
But
okay, but
it was very
better.
like it was kind of like buggy, kind of slow, and Ecamm just looks like there's going to be so many new features in here. You could do anything in the system, so that's really cool. So I got the year on that. But all right, so yeah, that's kind of the new studio. We're gonna keep adding to this, but
Yeah. We just wanted to hop on and kind of give y'all an update. We don't really have any agenda. We're just going to talk about our week and kind of some of the
Yeah.
stuff that we did and what we're looking forward to. So
yeah, because
feel free to
I
hop in and
yeah
give your opinions. Tell us what you did this week, what you guys are looking forward to next week. We're just going to have fun.
Yeah. Let me see. So you can see. So at the top, I guess it shows how many people are in here. It's 3 people.
Cool.
And a like. Whoa, we got a like. Haven't had one of those in a while. So yeah, you might have noticed like so I'm kind of changing up some of the content on our channel a little bit. So you probably have noticed like on our channel, we're kind of just like all over the place. Like we're creating all different types of content. And I kind of have an opinion on, I'm not a big fan of YouTubers who create like 100 different channels because they all want to do different content. I think it's better to just have one big channel and then just do like playlists. That's personally what I think, because you might have seen like I'm starting to create completely different content outside of like web design. I have a lot of experience with like animation and 3D. So I'm like, you know what? There's a need for some good After Effects tutorials. So that's kind of where I think I'm going to focus a lot more time, is just starting to create totally different type of content. Because what we've noticed on our channel is we get a lot of, like, I looked it up recently. It's like over 80% of our YouTube traffic is all from Google. So most people aren't finding us through like the traditional like YouTube. A lot of it is coming because I make sure like the keywords are something that someone would type into Google and then they find us. So that's why I think that like our views are so low sometimes, and all of a sudden they could just kind of like spike up. Yep. Let's see what Emron here is saying. Yeah, let me see. So talking about the channels and prefer one channel too many. Yeah, we definitely agree.
Well, and we also do a lot of different things. We don't just focus on web design. Like Mark said, he has a background in animation. So that's something that he really enjoys doing, and he doesn't really get to do that much of. So I think it's a good thing to just sharpen your skills.
Yeah.
And
yeah,
you
well, that's
can
the
help
thing.
somebody learn. I think that's great. And these are all things that also can be implemented into a website design. So
Yeah. Well, that's the thing. I don't
it's not
really.
like it's totally outside of the box.
Yeah, like I don't use it very often for side projects or even client work, so I don't want to lose that skill.
Exactly.
And not touching After Effects for like a while, I'm like, holy crap, there's so many new good features coming in that like I'm doing it because I want to learn how to do it, and then I'm gonna like document it. And then the way I do my videos is, I think there's a need for it because people come into these big programs sometimes and it's very overwhelming. And so like I think I'm pretty good at explaining, okay, this is what this little button does, and I show it, or you know, that type of information. Because I noticed the way that I do my videos is a lot different than other people, because I like to do something, talk about it a little bit, and then show it like all at once. Whereas a lot of times people will quickly go over things,
skip
and then,
over the important
not
parts.
kind of like explain the how or the why. And then I like to do it instantly too. I'm like, okay, look, if you click this button, what happens? You know, so
Right.
yeah. And I think my goal personally would be, I don't want to get like video work out of this if we start doing a lot more After Effects. What I'm noticing is channels like Adobe, it's very much like Crocoblock or other channels where they're bringing on other creators on their channel and create tutorials for them. So that's kind of where I think that I would like to go, is get in front of that audience. And then, you know, because like I said, my style of tutorials is, I think there's a need for it because
Yeah, I think that you're really good at like tutorials for beginners, even if it is a more complicated thing that you're doing. You explain it as if you were just opening up the program for the first time. You go through every step, and I think that the feedback that we've gotten on Mark's tutorials is that he explains things very well. So, you know, so we're putting it out there, Adobe. We're manifesting that you're going to hire Mark to do After Effects tutorials.
Yeah.
I think he would be a great addition
yeah,
to
Adobe,
your team.
what are you doing? Why are you waiting around? So yeah, I think that would be, and then there'd be other situations too where like on top of After Effects, it's kind of like WordPress where there's a lot of like add-ons and stuff. So
Yeah.
maybe there's situations where people might see these videos and then be like, hey, can you promote how to use my tool? So
Yeah.
I'm starting to kind of get, I tell people this sometimes, I'm not getting burned out so much on WordPress content, word design, but like it just
It gets repetitive.
it gets repetitive, and it's kind of there's a lot of us out there doing kind of the same content. Where I'm noticing that like with the After Effects tutorials or just video or animations, a lot of them like could be like AI dubs, not here in the United States, so someone kind of would have a hard time understanding another language. So yeah, I'm starting to see that there could be a need for this, but yeah, there's a lot of us doing the same like WordPress content,
Yeah.
Elementor, and I feel like the only things that I can really share these days is like kind of like bespoke, like complicated things that we've worked on, like client websites. Like I have a whole list of ones that I got to make, but I'm just like, who's
How
gonna
many
watch it?
people
Yeah.
are going to watch it?
Yep. Yeah. It's like very much like the very use case. Yep.
Yeah, it does kind of get boring doing the same thing over and over again. One of the things that we had talked about at the beginning of the year was like, how can we expand our YouTube channel so we don't get tired of doing the same thing. So yeah, this is one example. Mark's
Yeah.
gonna do more stuff like related to animation. A big part of our lives is also traveling. We were digital nomads for a while. We traveled full time. So that's something that I'm looking to bring
Yeah.
in to the channel, talking more about like how you do that, what the realities of being a digital nomad are. And like I think there's a lot of content that is very like influencer based, where it's like, oh, everything's perfect and glamorous and
Yeah.
this is the life that you want to live, but that's really not the reality. And for most people, traveling is something that they might do like maybe once a year if they're lucky.
Yeah.
So we want to come at it from like that perspective. But traveling is a big part of our lives, so we want to incorporate some of that. You might have seen some of the shorts that we've created related to traveling. Last month we were in Florida. We went to the Florida State Fair and tried a bunch of weird foods, and that was really fun. So we want to just do more fun stuff. It's not. We want to show that we're more well-rounded, I guess you could say. What's
Yeah,
going
because
on?
nothing. I'm just seeing if is it like lagging the video? I'm kind of on my phone. It looks like it's kind of lagging. But yeah, to go back to what you were saying with the travel, like we have a whole like travel blog and a YouTube channel. We were like, you know what? Why don't we just integrate that onto our channel here in Wiki? It's completely different, but we don't want to get monetized on another channel and have to deal with all that crap. So I was like, let's just do it over here. So yeah, I don't know.
Everything okay?
I don't know. It looks a little laggy. So what we're trying to figure out is this is using like an old MacBook Pro laptop, and we're like, maybe it's capped out. Maybe it's time that we might not use this. I don't know.
I think it's okay.
Yeah, we'll see. Well, look right here. It looks kind of okay.
I mean, that's on YouTube though. I think it's working okay.
All right.
If it's not working okay, let us know.
Yeah, I'm just looking. So yeah, that's kind of what we're doing with the travel stuff. Is like maybe we'll integrate that into here.
Yeah.
So what was Emron saying? Is there's too many AI dub videos that rush through the content? Yeah, that's definitely. Yeah,
The AI stuff is really getting crazy. Mark showed me a video the other day it was like a review channel, but the person was not a real person. It was an AI.
Yeah.
And it looked like a real person. It was wild. You could tell that the voice was a little off. It sounded robotic, but I mean, as a person that looks at this all the time, I could tell, but if like you showed it to my mom, she probably would have no idea that wasn't a real person.
Yeah.
And that's what's scary.
And what's crazy is like that channel is all like AI driven, so it kicks out a video like every day. So every day it's like the 10 best headphones.
Yeah.
Here's the 10 best mouse pads for 2025. And the thing is, it's like that channel had like a couple 100,000 subscribers, and like YouTube is promoting it as if it was just like any other channel. So
It's really bizarre. I wonder if like they bought followers or something, because how do you get like 100,000 followers that
they had like 200 something thousand.
quickly?
But the thing is, when they go in the comments, I don't think anybody realized that this is like an AI channel. Like everybody was talking, so you're literally talking to AI at that point. It's very,
So weird.
yeah. And then I guess we can kind of just talk about this topic. This is kind of something that's been on my mind a lot lately, and that is we're starting to definitely notice that some of the really, really small businesses that need websites, they're using like the GoDaddy AI tool, and they're totally cool with it. Like they don't even. So I did this one example where there's like a new restaurant that just opened up. And so I reached out to them before they had their website. I was like, hey, we have this great deal right now, $99 a month. We'll build you a whole website. I want to make it as easy as possible. So a few weeks later, I found out they just ghosted me. But then I went to their new website, and it was all the GoDaddy AI website. So they're totally cool with just using like an AI website. So I think that this AI shift is definitely happening a lot faster, especially with small businesses, and because they have to be very price sensitive. So if you're a small business, are you going to choose $10 a month with GoDaddy or hire someone like us at $100 a month? And clearly they're going to just choose the $10 a month.
I think
For how long? I don't know. That's the
yeah,
thing.
I think that is what we need to focus on as web developers. We need to provide really good service and know the ins and outs of what we do, because once something goes wrong with the AI website, and that's definitely going to happen if you need to change something, or like contact forms don't work because the email isn't configured right, there's nobody to help you
Yeah.
because you build it with an AI robot. So that's where we're going to come in. And I think, if all the people that are worried about, like, oh, we're not going to have a job in a year because AI is going to take over, I think what you need to focus on is providing really good service and knowing the ins and outs of web design, web development, those little things that people are going to need you for. My email isn't working right. The contact form isn't sending. I don't know how to get the DNS settings right. Stuff like that.
Yeah, definitely.
AI isn't going to be able to do.
Yeah, not anytime soon. Like I was just talking about this. You can see Emerald's comment. Yeah, same thing. Like I noticed on one of your live streams, I jump in it once in a while. Yeah, you were saying the same thing. Like he's noticing that they're fine with these bad websites.
Yeah, they're fine until they're not.
Yeah, exactly.
So like they can have a really bad website, but the minute that they need something else and they can't do it, or they run into an issue, that's when they're going to need a professional.
And then like where I definitely can see, because we're working on a client website right now where it's like there's all these like weird filters and queries and all this like kind of complicated stuff. That's not going to get there for a while with the AI, because you even if AI can do it, you have to still prompt it a specific way. So there's still going to have to be a professional who kind of knows how to prompt this stuff. Like if you do like a higher article, drop down menu, like how do you do that? Like this is all complicated stuff, and I'm like, there's no way you can like prompt it, because
and I think that's what people need to focus on, is learning the ins and outs of stuff like that.
The complicated stuff,
like basic websites. Yeah, you can make a basic website with these AI tools in 5 minutes. It's gonna look like crap.
Yeah,
but people, like Emron said, they don't care. A lot of people just don't care until they need to care. So it really honestly hasn't changed much, because a lot of our clients would come to us because they're like, oh, I tried to build a website in Squarespace and it turned out horribly because I don't know what I'm doing.
What I definitely took away from this experience, like with it ghosted us and everything, I'm not going to target those clients anymore. Like we used to really heavily target people who just starting up, but we're starting to see, I've seen several websites now. You go in the footer and it's the GoDaddy AI crap. So we have to shift it. That's why we recently just changed our pricing again, because I thought the $99 a month for small businesses was going to be locked in for a while, but it was mixed results. It's kind of, I'll say, is like a lot of people were like, well, is it really $99 a month? Because what we were doing is billing annually. And then people didn't like that. They want me to bill monthly. So we changed it up again. And I think that, yeah, we're going to be shifting and working more customized websites, the mid-level websites, something that's a little more complicated than just a static website that someone can build in 5 seconds, because clearly that market is being taken over. So I can't believe that GoDaddy is the one. They're the ones that are winning right now with this AI thing when it comes to this, because I've seen it so many times now. And I guess it's when you buy the domain, they probably are like, hey, you want to get your website up in 5 seconds? Here, click this button. And then they do it, But one thing that I was having a conversation with her yesterday is I think that this is going to be the shift is in the future is you're not going to build stuff anymore on top of existing frameworks, like WordPress or anything like that. You're going to just build out whole complete websites now with all just like AI. So I'm going to be able to do a prompt or something and say, hey, build me a content management system that can do this, this, and this. I want to have this, this, and this features in here. And it will just build it out from scratch. And then I'm thinking that in the future, there's going to be a whole system where it's integrated into your hosting and all of that crap. So all that technical stuff that is hard to do now, that's all just going to be one big system. So there's going to be like a website builder AI tool in the future where it's just like, it does everything for you. And you don't have to worry about, psychopaths like Matt Mullenweg who are going to snap one day and then be like, oh my God, with WordPress. So I definitely do not see ourselves I would say about 5 years even being on WordPress anymore. There's no way. I think that it's going to be a completely automated prompting system, but I think at that point you're still going to know what the hell you're doing. Like you still have to understand like how iframes work, how image maps, weird stuff that's still in web browsers that unless you know what the hell you're doing, I don't know. I could be completely wrong, but I don't see WordPress and systems like that they're not going to survive, I don't think.
Well, I think the point is you just have to know your stuff. If you want to be in this industry, you have to learn. You can't just be like, oh, I'm gonna make Squarespace websites forever, or I'm just gonna use AI, because eventually you're gonna get taken over by the robots that are doing it for you. So you need to get more technical and really like immerse yourself in.
Well, the way I see
learning.
it is like with the AI stuff, you're either going to be replaced by it or you're going to be using it. Like there's no in between anymore. There's not really going to be much of an in between. It's going to be like basically this whole industry is going to get wiped, and we don't need to worry about WordPress. And systems like that have been around for what, 20 years? Like they've been around forever. They're not going to always be there, and more and more I think Paul just came out with something today where it's like more and more companies are not contributing anymore to WordPress. Yeah. So I'm starting to see the downfall of the platform that we're building on. It's not gonna happen tomorrow, but I think within a couple years' time,
be around in some capacity. I just think that maybe the level of like updating it is going to stop.
So what does it say here? Do you want to read that?
My client ditched me for AI website and now came back again for a minute of tweak, and I charge 5 figures for that. It's funny how they were ready to pay that much.
That's so funny.
That's exactly what I'm saying. Is it's great until it's not.
Yeah.
And these people, they're going to get their website up quickly, but then down the road, they might want to change something or do something that the AI can't do, and then they don't know how to do it, so they're going to hire a professional. As a developer, you need to know how to do those things that they don't know how to do or the AI can't do. That's what you need to focus on.
Like I was saying, I think we're in this like in between phase right now where it's like it doesn't really know how it's going to mature, and there's people like us who are kind of like, we're losing some clients to this crap, but then they're going to come back to us.
I don't ever look at it as we lost clients. I just don't think those people were clients of ours to begin with.
Yeah. But I don't know. Hold on. If you think about it, they were, because this AI garbage wasn't existing a couple years ago. So yeah, they would have been like, oh, you know what?
I don't know. I think that there are certain people that just they wouldn't have even had a website. They would have just had like a Facebook page or something.
Yeah.
That was easy because they don't want to spend the money on it.
Or they would have. I mean, they would have went to Fiverr and they got
Yeah,
someone who did it
something
for
like
$50
that.
or
Like,
something.
and that's not our client at
No.
all. Like, you know, like our clients are people that value the expertise and professionalism that we have, and you know. I think you're basing everything off of this one person, and
Yeah.
that's not necessarily.
All I'm
He was
saying
never
is,
necessarily our client.
I'm starting to, when I go to websites now, I'm starting to kind of see. I go down the footer. I'm like, God damn, another GoDaddy AI website, another GoDaddy AI website. Like that didn't even exist like 6 months ago. What was it called, Aria or something like that?
don't know.
I looked it up. It's like $10 a month. So I was like, of course they're going to choose a $10 a month plan. But I don't know. The one thing that kind of turns me off from this whole experience is that like when you're a small business owner, you should try to help out other small business owners. So when you have someone like us who's like, hey, we are a small business, we literally live in the same neighborhood. It's half a mile from my house. I was like, hey, I can build your website. I'm right down the street. They went to GoDaddy Corporation, $10. I know.
Doesn't
It's
mean
like
that they're a bad person.
no, not a bad person, but it's kind of like it's like this rule when you have a small business, you know, you try to not go with the corporate guys if you can. You help each other out. Because I go to your restaurant, you know, so
We haven't actually been to the
I didn't take it
restaurant
personal, but like I'm
yet.
starting.
You kind of are.
I want my I'll be like, you know what, you could pay me in cheesesteaks because they have cheesesteaks there. And like,
Well,
there is a cannoli place where I'm like, if they just pay me in cannolis, I could do it. The whole website.
okay. Well, let's get off of
That topic.
the
Yeah.
AI topic because I feel like
It's a big one. Yeah.
I feel like it's something that honestly everybody's talking about and is very doom and gloom, and
yeah.
that's not what I want to be.
Overall,
about.
like I would say, like I'm kind of excited because things are changing, and I love that we've done so much cool stuff with it
Yeah.
that like I hate to say like I hate it, but I also love it because I've literally made videos off of stuff I got from. So yeah, that topic is kind of big. Yeah.
Yeah, and I'm sure it's not going to be the last time we talk about
Let's
it.
talk about American politics. That's cool, right?
No. Oh my God, what is wrong with you? No, absolutely.
All
not.
we have to say as Americans, if we apologize that we don't even know what the hell's going on in this country. So yeah, we apologize because a lot of these viewers might not even be in the United States. So
Well, I know Imran's not.
we don't know what the hell's going on in this country either. We're just watching it crumble in a weird
Put
way.
in the chat where you're from. I know Imran's from the UK, but
Yeah.
everybody
If
else.
there's anybody else in here.
Yeah, because I always like to see where everybody's from.
So yeah, I think it's interesting because yeah, with our live streams, we don't get a lot of people in them, but I think is it because it doesn't get pushed? I think when you do a live stream, it doesn't get pushed really. YouTube doesn't really like
You're asking
promote
the
it.
wrong person. I can't figure out how YouTube
Yeah.
algorithms work, and honestly, I don't care.
Yeah, well, like we definitely have noticed like our views have been kind of consistent for a while, but definitely the advertisers aren't paying out as much. Like I showed her the numbers, I was like, wow, it's just not paying out nearly as much as it was just 6 months ago. It seems like every 6 months, the advertisements kind of go down and down and down.
I mean, I think it just depends on how many people are advertising with YouTube, right?
Yeah,
So,
and then if they want to, yeah.
yeah.
But that's like one thing we could talk about the Facebook thing. But I'm not on Facebook. Like I literally just joined for a few groups, and I don't have any friends. I don't engage or anything. It's such a bizarre platform now because if you think about it as an advertiser, like when I scroll through this feed that I have, this algorithmic feed, it doesn't really know my interest because I don't really follow anybody. And so it just shows me literally false stuff. It's like, hey, Jim Carrey died this morning. It's like completely false news, right? But then they're like, hey, advertise with us on this platform is great. So I was like, let me get this straight. You want me to advertise on your shitty platform? And then I'm going to be right below fake news. Like that seems such an odd business plan.
And this is why I got rid of Facebook years ago and have no social media anymore.
Yeah, it's very bizarre to me. Like it's just like, why would I waste my money trying to promote my business when it's just going to be shown next to weird stuff? I'm like, but yeah, that's one thing. What is the book called? We got.
Yeah, so I guess we can talk about what we're reading.
Mm-hmm.
So I just finished reading, talking about like YouTube and influencers. Sherry Frankie's book. So I don't know if you guys are familiar with Ruby Frankie. She was this YouTube mom, and she was crazy and abused her kids. She had, I think, like 6 or 7 kids, and 6. Yeah, because their channel was called 8 Passengers, and she acted like she was this perfect mom, but she was really abusing her kids, and her daughter wrote a book about all the horrible things that she did. She got involved with like this cult leader, and it was just a mess. It was a really interesting book, and it really kind of shed a light on like the whole top, like, should kids really be on social media, and like, are these mommy channels really good? And I think a lot of them aren't. Especially that one. I mean, she's in jail now, well deserved, because she was doing horrible things to her children. But yeah, very interesting book. And
How big was her channel on YouTube? Do you know?
Millions. She had millions of followers.
Wow.
And it was like, it grew really quickly, and even the daughter had her own channel, and she talked about that, and she kind of like she was smart in a way where she was like, if I do this, then I can like stash the money and get out.
I think, yeah, the whole YouTube, like, because we follow a lot of people on YouTube, a lot of creators. It's such a weird relationship that you get with these people. Like, you think you have like this parasocial relationship, and then a lot of times they will use their children for content, and that's like
what this woman did. It was like really,
it was very bizarre.
sickening.
Yeah, like we used to watch these two people. What was it, like Trent and Allie? They used to they were building a house up in Utah. It was kind of like just a homie channel. But then it was so bizarre. Like, their kid got really sick, and he needed to be like airlifted, like literally at the hospital, and taken to another hospital, fly this sick kid away. But of course, guess what she did?
The first thing they did
she
was
busted
pick
out
up
her
the
camera.
And that was like, it was like,
we needed
it was
content.
Really weird.
As soon as that happened, I was like, holy crap, this is bad. Because when you're a content creator, or what did we watch Mr. Beat last night? What did he call us?
An artist.
Artist, yeah. You have to always feel like you have to keep creating content.
I think that's the interesting thing about it is, like, I almost think that there's, like, people with certain personalities thrive on YouTube, and people like Ruby Frankie, this was like, as her daughter was talking about, like, growing up with her, like, this was always like her personality before she even started YouTube. It was like, you have to like achieve and be perfect and do more constantly. And I think that is this type of personality that really thrives on YouTube, and that's why her channel was so successful, because she just literally didn't stop. The camera was always in these kids' faces, and she knew, oh, if I film everything about my children, people are going to respond to it.
Yeah.
And it just got really dark. So really good book. I think it just came out. I saw it at the bookstore, and I was like, ooh, this looks really interesting. Really, really interesting book. The girl, Sherry, her daughter, she seems to be doing much better now. She doesn't talk to her mom. Her mom's in prison. But just, it was really a heartbreaking story.
Oh,
so
that's crazy, yeah. All right, so I'm playing around with this chat, and I messed it up. So I don't know. we're using new software, and I can't figure out how to get this back here. Sorry about this. Yeah.
There we go.
I don't know what the hell I'm doing.
Out.
Yeah, this is brand new software. We don't know what we're doing.
We're still learning it, but that's okay.
I'm trying to get this blur off of here. That's what was really. Oh, I see what it is.
What happened?
I don't want to truncate it. You want to make it where it shrinks.
Okay.
I guess that's good. Yeah. All right. Yeah, sorry about that. I don't know. There's like this blur on this stupid thing, and I'm
it's
like,
okay.
Trying
Don't
to figure
even
out
worry.
how to
Don't worry about it. Like,
yeah,
you can still read it.
All right, cool.
So Carl Ross said, "We love you guys. You're doing great work. Much appreciated. Thank you. We're grateful for all that you do for all of us. Keep up the good work. Happy Friday. Happy Friday to you." And I'm guessing from your avatar, you're from Canada.
Yeah, and we apologize as Americans again.
Oh my god.
Soon you will be part of America. No.
Oh my gosh.
Trust me. We don't know what the hell's going on in this country either.
It hurts your
brain.
We
apologize.
It hurts your brain.
Oh yeah, Toby's here. Yes, great content. Croco Block guy. Yes, you're making such good content. I love it.
Yeah, I've seen some of your videos.
Yeah, we
Really
wanted
good
to do
stuff.
our branding colors are kind of like a yellow and a blue, so we're gonna try to play around with the lighting a little more still.
Yeah, we're still like figuring out stuff, and I can see like the reflection on my glasses, and that's really bothering me. But if I take them off, I can't see anything. So, getting old is fun.
Yeah, exactly. Was it the new dawn of AI? Lots of people are creating their own content in the hopes of gaining some kind of so many. And then I think it continues here, right? Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's a good point. A lot of people are using AI to try to create content and try to hop on like the YouTube wagon or the influencer wagon, whatever you want to call it. And
Yep.
I truly believe that people are looking for authenticity, not robots. I think we're so tired of seeing it because we just see it so
Well, I'm
much
telling you,
now.
a lot of people are saying the exact same. Everybody's literally saying the same thing. So that's why we're doing live streams because we're human. We're Friday morning. We're just hanging out. Like this is what people want to see. So
I hope so. I mean, we're gonna continue doing.
So here's what I was thinking is like, how do you prove that like we're not AI right now? Like, I was like, do people have to like start cutting themselves or something? And be like, look, I'm bleeding. Look, AI doesn't bleed.
Today's newspaper.
Yeah, I'm like, is that what we're gonna have to get to a point? No, I'm not an avatar. I swear.
No, we're not avatars. We're real people.
Like I said,
promise.
I found a channel that is 100% AI, and the guy that talks in the beginning, he's all AI. So I'm like, people are literally getting fooled. Like, I bet you have watched a video and it's AI. And,
I know I have.
Yeah.
And I know that I've talked to AI thinking that they were real people. Like, and I think that people are just so tired of it. I know I'm tired of it. I want actual human connection and service, and I just feel like all of that is getting replaced by machines, and people are just over it. I hate when I go to the store, like, there's 5 people telling me what spot to go into and self-checkout when they could have just rang me up. Like, what is up with that? I don't understand it. And it's just crazy.
That? He thinks we're AI. We might be. I don't know. That's why I was like, what is it that we have to do?
I promise.
Because even if we drew blood, AI could do that. Look, we can cut ourselves too. So I was like, what do I need to show like my tax return and be like, look, I pay taxes. AI's not paying taxes.
We got like way off track here.
I know.
We were talking about books. I talked about the book that I just finished.
Well, all right. So we talked about books because there's a new book that just came out.
Wait, what are you reading? Talk about what you're reading right now.
What is that called? It's on the table. I haven't started
Atomic
it.
Habits.
Atomic Habits. Yeah, that one should kind of help me with habits. Like she said she read the book and it was pretty good.
I read it. Yeah, I read that book years ago, and I really liked it. I think that it's something I'll probably read again just as a refresher.
But I think I'm more interested in the book we just bought today. It's a whistleblower that worked at Facebook, and she just released a new book, and Mark Zuckerberg's trying to shut it down, basically. He's trying to make it where it's going to be really hard to get it. So I was like, let's get that shit now because it might not be around. Yeah.
Well, I'm just really interested to hear all the stuff that went on because I'm sure it was horrible. I'm sure that a lot of stuff was covered up and they tried to silence her. But, I think that everybody should read it. It's called, what is it called?
Careless something?
Careless People.
Careless
People. So it's on Amazon and Barnes and Noble, and I think you can get it at bookstores.
As much I don't like social media because it's basically a failed experiment at this point. Like there's a lot more cons than pros in my opinion, and I think it's fascinating actually how we can get so addicted to something and then not see the writing on the wall and it's the downfall of it. So was it from India?
Cody says he's from India. Wow. Hello. That's far away.
And then I got to know you from Jeffrey, and I never let my daughter touch a mole. That's good. That is real good.
Yeah, I mean, we don't have kids, but we have a lot of friends that have kids, and I know that's a big struggle. Is as they get older, they want the tech, they want phones, they want iPads, and they want to go watch things, and it's like it's really hard to monitor.
Yeah.
How do you handle that? That's got to be really tough.
Yeah. Yeah, the game has changed. I used to offer website as a service, like pre-AI. Okay, cool. And then now it's websites plus lead gen. So you have to add some other value to
Yeah,
it.
you're
Yeah.
adding value. I think that's really smart, and that's something that I know
Oh,
we've
take it easy,
talked
Toby.
about.
Yeah. Toby's got to jump off. Yeah, it's yeah. Jeffrey says that a lot too, and I kind of took away. You got to keep adding value. Like
Yeah.
with us, I would say what makes us a lot different than most web designers out there is we do two things. We train you on how to make edits to your website, whereas like we literally will give them custom training videos. So after a website's launched, we spend a few hours and we actually create training videos. So a lot of that's why we create a lot of content on YouTube because it's almost like practice for us.
Yeah.
And then that we notice a lot of people don't do that. And then I actually really enjoy the hosting aspect of it. So I will take on all the complicated. I call it premium tech support now. I just changed on our website. You're getting premium tech support, like as our service. So you can email me and ask me about MX records and DNS and how do you update PHP, like all this type of stuff that like, unless you're a nerd, you're not going to know how to do this crap. And then you're not going to want to go to your hosting company because if you're on a bad host, like I'm going to just throw Bluehost under the bus. Like I've been in situations where I've been with chat with Bluehost and they just completely will downgrade your like PHP version to like 7.4, which is like a completely outdated thing because I couldn't figure out something. I know I'm getting into like real technical, but you don't want that. You don't want to get someone who's just
Doesn't know.
Yeah, you're a number and they need to get you out of
Yeah.
the queue as fast as possible to move on to the
That
next.
was always something that when we started the business, I was really adamant about. Like, I don't want it to be like, let's just churn out all these websites and never talk to these people again. And basically say, like, oh, you're on your own.
Yeah.
Like, I wanted to build a relationship. And we might not have as many clients as some other people, but the clients that we do have keep coming back to us to ask questions, to get updates,
Yeah.
to build completely new websites,
'Cause they
new
do,
businesses
yeah.
that they've started.
We've
And
had-
that really makes me feel good.
Yeah, we've had clients for almost like 10 years now and they rebuild websites with us and they add new functionality, that type of stuff.
And
So
that's what we wanted. I know it's a lot different than some of the other companies that it's just like, okay, get as many projects as possible and hire a huge team. Like we never really wanted that. We wanted to remain small and just do the things that we've been doing really since the start.
yeah, and definitely like I know like Jeffrey and his group, like the recurring revenue, like for us is like the hosting. The hosting is what whenever there's no new clients coming in, I'm still getting like hosting every month from clients, you know. So that's how you can sustain a business. Like
Yeah.
if we didn't have that, we would have to be chasing new work every
Yeah,
month.
and
And I'm like, that's not, you can't scale that really.
I think it's really hard. Like, you know, if you have this goal of like, oh, I have to make like 20 websites a month, and it's like, well, that could be really great for a while and you might be able to do it, but then what happens if, you know,
There's a
you
global
don't?
pandemic.
Yeah,
you know?
like that's a great example.
Yeah.
Or, you know, like just things are slow and people, you know, everybody in your area already has a website. Like
Yeah.
what do you do? It's like there's this constant pressure of like I have to get more clients, and
Yeah.
especially if you have a staff, you know, like you have to continue to get more work in because you have to pay those people. So we kind of structured our business, I think, a lot differently
yeah.
than most people, but it's what works for us.
Yeah, because there have been times where we've gotten so much work where it's like we could have like opened up an office and hire a staff, but then I'm like, I personally don't want that. I don't want that
Yeah.
type of headache because we like to spontaneously like travel sometimes. I want to be able
Why?
to.
That's sometimes we travel.
I want to be able to just go. I don't want to have to worry about, okay, if I go, does my staff have enough stuff to do while I'm gone? And I honestly don't want to deal with it. Like, because the thing is, I'm still going to want to live that same life. And so why am I going to add all this extra stress? Maybe for more money, but then.
But I also feel like when you take on a team and you have people to pay, yeah, you get more stress, but like you're probably netting the same amount of income that you would have made without all that because you're paying all these people and you have more overhead. So is it really worth it?
Yeah.
You know, and for us, it wasn't. So
Well,
we
I
just
think-
keep it small.
Yeah, we're in a pretty good situation too because like both of us are doing it. So if one of us is literally like down because we're sick or something, like the other one can pick up.
Yeah.
And yeah, if you go pick up some other side gig somewhere, you know, Gotta go to the doctor. It's no big deal, So, yeah.
Cool. All right, so we covered.
We just went all over the
books.
place. Yeah.
You want to talk about something that you're looking forward to?
Not flying in this country. We just saw like some other stuff. Oh, like David's here.
Like
yes.
Something that you're looking forward to,
Howdy.
next week. What's
Yeah.
something that you're looking forward to next week?
Yeah. Anybody out there?
Or this weekend? I'm looking forward to. Tomorrow we're going to a place called Grounds for Sculpture with our friends. It's this really weird, like, art installation up in Trenton, New Jersey, and they just have these random sculptures. It's kind of cool. We haven't been there in years, so I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah, we're doing a Tennessee trip in May, so I'm looking forward to that for sure. I don't know.
What about next week? Anything that you're looking forward to next week?
I don't know. I'm gonna create more. I'm just learning more and more about it, like After Effects, like do some cool stuff there. Because, I'm starting to like learn. I was like, oh, I could do all this like completely different things outside of like, web design, and I'm like, there's an audience for it. So I don't know. I think just learning that is definitely what I want to get more into for sure.
Yeah, I think that's great.
Yeah,
I think it's really cool that you have these skills. And you know all these different programs, and you can make videos.
Yeah, I definitely just feel like there's a lot of people out there who are kind of creating the similar content than us, and I'm like, it's okay, but it's just after a while, I'm like, I want to just do something different and completely different. Like, even on my channel a while ago, I wanted to see if I can get some traffic on Microsoft Word tutorials. I actually made a few, and one of them starting to spike up. So I'm noticing that like you could do that. You could just kind of switch up your content completely, and then it might take a little bit, but it could spike up. Yeah.
What did Dave said? I'm looking forward to learning more about API and dynamic data. Cool. Yeah, that's
where I'm at too. Yeah.
Yeah, that's awesome.
That's why I think a lot of my videos in the future are just gonna be. I come up with that type of stuff a lot because clients like request it. So I'm like, you know what? Let me create a video on this because I don't want to forget how to do it. So yeah, I'm looking on that. Oh, look at this. He's asking for on LinkedIn. So funny story. I used to have a LinkedIn up until a couple months ago. I deleted it. I had the account for over 20 years.
Yeah, we got rid of all of our social. I literally have no social media anymore. Yeah. No Instagram. The only thing we have is YouTube. And we were posting on LinkedIn a lot. And nobody was seeing the post because I think that most people have a LinkedIn profile and they never log into it. Yeah. And the people that do are struggling to try to find traffic. And then there's so many bots on LinkedIn. Yeah. It's insane. And
then he's saying he's gotten leads from posting content. So what I used to do on LinkedIn is if you go through our channel, if you just type in like LinkedIn, I have a video, it's a couple years old. I used to cold outreach to people through LinkedIn. Like if people were looking for web design, I would cold outreach. That actually worked pretty good for a while. That's not
really cold outreach. It's people that are looking for...
Yeah, it's like a warm, whatever you want to call it. But it worked pretty well for a while. But all of a sudden, these past few years,
bots.
There's just bots who just...
Well, and what's crazy is we have gotten... In the past, we got leads from that. And all the people that we talked to say they had to take their post down because people were harassing them. Mm-hmm. Like they were getting so many messages. Somehow their phone number got found out and they were getting calls like all hours of the day.
Oh yeah.
So people were getting frustrated with the platform because it was just like overtaken by bots.
I would several times I would report clearly somebody was a bot or it's like a fake account. It's like a stock image. Mm-hmm. I literally would take the stock image, reverse image search it, and create an email to LinkedIn. I said, look, this person was 100% fake. Mm-hmm. Here's the stock image they used. I did that several times. And guess how many times they took it down? 0.
Yeah.
They 100% of the time ignored all my requests.
We had a bot that was impersonating working for us on our LinkedIn. Like that was like a whole thing that they didn't do anything about. It was really frustrating.
So we want to show that literally the only platform we really post to is YouTube. Mm-hmm. That's it. We want to show that as a business, you can still be successful without wasting your time on LinkedIn, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok.
I mean, you got to do
Snapchat.
what works for you. Yeah. And for us, it's YouTube.
Yeah.
YouTube has been the thing that's worked the best for us. We've tried all the other ones. We tried Facebook, got no results. We tried Instagram, nothing. Like,
because it doesn't get shown to the people because people are just shown like an algorithmic feed now.
yeah.
So
Well, and it's like they want you to post certain types of content, and that's not the type of content that
or pay, yeah.
we post. Like, we don't do prank videos,
No,
you
no.
know? Like, and that's what they want.
Oh yeah, so he's same thing. You don't go on LinkedIn, and then yeah, so this was funny. So yeah, you got a shadow worker, yeah. So what's crazy is for a while, I think LinkedIn might have fixed this. I don't know, but for the longest time, you could just say you own Microsoft, like you worked at Microsoft. Oh, I worked at Google. You could just say that. You could say I'm CEO of Microsoft Incorporated, like, and then, so that's what someone did. Someone said that they worked for us. We've had other weird ones too, where people did like a fake job posting.
Yeah, we've
and was
had
like,
that too.
Somebody was like,
That was really
that was a bizarre one.
Well, it was concerning because somebody emailed us and said, "Hey, I just filled out an application for this job and the response I got was weird. So I don't think it's real, and like I just want to let you know that like if it's real, like I'm interested, but it kind of," and we were like, "Oh my gosh, no, it's not a real posting. Like I don't know what they're, I hope you didn't give them any information," but that was really concerning because we were like, what are people doing? Like they're just taking our brand.
Do you remember
posting
what
stuff.
platform that was on? Was it like Indeed? It was one
Yeah,
of the.
I think it was
one of those
Indeed.
ones. Yeah.
Like I just feel like everything's just like so overrun with bots now.
And, yeah, that's exactly how it is. Like literally every
concerning.
platform. If you start reading into like, they're called ghost jobs everywhere, and a lot of them are scams. Like a lot of them are like, hey, you're hired, but you need to buy a laptop, so fill out this form and give me all your information. It's like I think they said that over like 80 or 90% of jobs are fake.
And I think that it was from what I remember, it was a few years ago. It was something like that. The guy filled out the application, and then they were like, "Oh, like we want, you're hired, but we want you to buy." Yeah, some like equipment, like a laptop or something, and like we'll reimburse you for it. And he was smart enough to not do that.
On our
luckily.
website, if people actually read our website, we never outsource our work. We have no staff. It's literally just us. We put that in our website. Like a lot of times people don't read your website content. We've learned that, but it never showed anywhere that we have a job. So
well, and if we did, it would be on our website.
Yeah, exactly.
Like that's where we would post it. We're not gonna post it anywhere else unless we specifically say like it's on this site.
But yeah, to what circle back, I would say we got rid of all of our social media basically. Like you might, like I said, you might see me on Facebook group, but I'm literally just in the Elementor group, the Crockle Block group, and a couple other groups. I had to because it's like that's where the Elementor support is. I hate that. That's how it is.
And the Crockle blog, and like that's what they use.
Yeah. What was saying about the scammers here?
The scammers get smarter nowadays with AI. The schemes get really creative.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it was really upsetting. This was like years ago that this happened before like all the AI stuff really was taking off, and I was just like, how many people filled out for this job application?
Hell, we might even have jobs right now we don't even know about.
It's crazy, and I felt really bad, and I was felt lucky that the guy reached out and let us know, but I don't know how many people filled that out. But
yeah, from what I'm gathering from just kind of the bigger picture, people are starting to become wiser with this stuff and be like, I don't think a lot of the stuff is real, and then a lot of people like on Facebook, for example, they're like, nobody in our family like posts pictures anymore. Like it's not the same as it was like a few years ago. So it's like, why hang around? That's my thing. Like LinkedIn, my LinkedIn just became, I had to turn off my connections because every day I was getting 10 connections.
And it was all fake people.
Mostly all fake people or people trying to pitch me to outsource the work to them.
Yeah.
I'm like, I know, I'm not outsourcing my work to you.
Yeah, we would get so much, and it was just like, is this what this platform has become?
So my thing is like, why am I wasting my goddamn time on this? Like by the time I do that, I could have created like videos and like create real content on here that actually is valuable. So yeah, to kind of go back, I was like, yeah, we got rid of it because it's waste of our time, and I want to believe that people are kind of opening their eyes to it a little more.
Well, maybe if they read this book about the Facebook whistleblower.
Yeah.
They'll
People don't read
delete
books.
their account.
I didn't read a book up until a few months ago,
Oh.
and I'm like, maybe if people get off social media because they're wasting their damn time, they can read books
They
again.
can
Yeah.
read the book, yeah, that's true.
Let's
But
see what it says about
I'm
X.
really excited to dive into that.
So you're on all those platforms: YouTube, Facebook, and X. Oh boy, you're on X. Yeah, I don't. I've never actually really. I had a Twitter account probably 10 years ago for like a week or two, and then I was like, that was when it was really heavy on like the hashtags and like everybody was writing in like this code. I was like, what is this?
Yeah. I mean, I used to have all of the. I think the only one I never got into was Snapchat, but I had all of them, and eventually I was just like, I'm done.
Yeah.
Like I'm done with all of this. I'm done with Instagram.
Well,
I'm done with Facebook.
You did TikTok for a while. She was enjoying it, and
until it got
dumb.
It got really dumb, and it was just
Well,
too much like
it
scaring people into.
it got too political, and I was
Yeah.
like, okay, you can go all in on this TikTok crap, and then all of a sudden the app is blocked, and there's not blocked, and then there's
Well,
gonna
and
be
it was yeah, and it was just like the same thing. It was like I was at first like posting like logo design videos, and they were doing really well, and I started noticing, this is like becoming a
working.
thing. It's cool. Like people are interested in this, and then it slowly just got like less and less engagement and more people. They want to see that extreme content, the stuff that honestly is fake and people believe. Like that's what they promote on these platforms, and I just don't want any part of it.
yeah. So instead of all of them except Blue Sky, and I never opened. Yeah,
Maybe it's time to get rid of them. If you never open them, just get it out of your life.
I wanted to just see what Blue Sky was about, and I did join it for a couple weeks. I was on it. I followed a few people, in the WordPress space and some like SEO people I follow. And then I realized that a lot of these people are just creating the same content over on like YouTube. So I just follow their channels on YouTube, and I'm just getting what I need there. So
I feel like you get more out of a YouTube video too, because you can like see the person, they explain things better, versus on Blue Sky it's just text, right?
yeah. And the thing that was different about it was there's no algorithm as of yet. So it's just like you literally just see a chronological order of the people you follow, which is how it is, and it's boring because we got addicted to algorithms. That's the thing.
Yeah.
That really actually going to Blue Sky really opened my eyes to how much we rely on algorithmic feeds. And that's not healthy. Like that's not
Yeah,
we
I
need
don't
to
think it's good for
avoid
us.
you need to avoid algorithms because that's where you're going to get all your hate, you're going to get all your political crap in there. It's just like
Yeah, I don't know if it's good for us.
so I know that with like YouTube, I know there's like plugins or extensions where you can have it never go to the home, so you just see the feed of people, and I think that's healthy. I think that's definitely what people should do. But 99% of people don't install crap like that, because it's like extra.
Well, and I mean, I don't necessarily trust all those things either. It's like you don't know what it is. Like they could be doing some like hijacking your computer.
Yeah, like the Honey extension was.
Yeah.
It's we're trying to we scale back over the years. Because you remember how that was like the worst advice for a while, where people were like, "You got to post on every social media platform." I was like,
The
that
Gary
might have
Vee
worked.
model.
That might have worked for a little while, but there's no way that worked. Yep.
And if you mention TikTok, people will hit you with a TikTok never heard of. Yeah, because you guys don't have TikTok in India, right? It's like it's banned in
People
India.
will hit you with a TikTok.
Yeah.
I see here.
Yeah, they don't have TikTok in India.
No.
I
don't think so.
I mean, who knows what's gonna happen? I think it's here to stay for as of right now, but I don't know.
Yeah.
You're better off probably not having it, honestly.
Yeah. Unless you're creating the content on it, or you're actually gaining a lot of resources from it, it's not worth it, like at all. Yeah. They disable their YouTube history to avoid the. Oh, that's a good one too. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. They're making it harder and harder to get rid of seeing the algorithmic feed. So that's one good thing about Reddit. Like, Reddit can be really bad or really good, but you have to be self-controlled, because like if you want on Reddit, you could just follow dogs or cats or funny memes, but then don't go anywhere else. don't try not to go in the comments,
Oh,
because then it
that's
gets
the
real
thing,
stupid
is
real
the
quick. Yeah.
People like, I think like Reddit's the worst with the people that just like have no lives and are just
I personally
constantly on it talking crap.
I have a Reddit for like SEO purposes, because whenever I create a tutorial, like I have a subreddit called Elementor Tutorials, and I'll just post my YouTube video in there, and then that gets picked up inside of Google. So now I have 3 different spots where, sometimes in Google I'll have 3 different spots. So that's why sometimes I can get views on a lot of videos, or views on videos, and they heavily are promoting Reddit stuff. So I'm in there just for that. And I just did one. Somebody else already had the After Effects one, so I've just been posting my stuff in there. But yeah, Reddit can be dangerous real quick.
Yeah, I deleted that from my phone.
It gets like everything's just so political there. Like you could be in an Elementor, or hell, even the WordPress subreddit. They have a new subreddit for just the WordPress drama. Somebody create a subreddit just to talk about Matt Mullenweg and all this other crap.
Yeah,
like,
that I don't understand, the like drama forums and the snark forum where people just talk about people that they don't even know. It's
Yeah.
like, get a life.
Yeah, I'm like, you have all that time to just.
Yeah, it's crazy. All right, well, anything else you're looking forward to this week?
I'm trying to think. No, not really. So with our schedule, it's kind of odd. So I could be really excited to wake up in the morning, like, I'm going to create all these After Effects things. And then we get all these client requests coming in, and I have to spend all day like trying to figure out complicated stuff, like a bunch of dynamic information on a Crockleblock website. And they're like, holy crap, I now have 10 new videos in Crockleblock. So I kind of, maybe if I read this book, the Habit book, what is it called?
Atomic
Habits. I'll get in a better headspace where I'm like,
think-
okay, I need to do this and this and this,
I
because
think that is going to benefit you.
because I'll get easily distracted, because I'm like, oh, I can make all these 10 videos now. Yeah, the WordPress drama. It's so weird, because
It doesn't mean anything. Like, who cares?
yeah, it should have all just been handled behind the scenes. There should have just been some lawsuits, but he's treating it like the cable companies, where in this country, if a cable company they want to negotiate, like the networks want to negotiate with the cable company, they would have a ticker on the bottom of the stream, call this number to keep MTV on your cable subscription. They made it public. He should have never made it public. So by him making it public, he just shot himself in the foot.
Well, I think he's very similar to a lot of these tech bros, that they have big egos and they want the attention.
Oh yeah. Well, when you get to the ego and the money, you're like, well, why is no one paying attention to me? And you have to do the most ridiculous things to stay
I think he's
in the cycle.
following the footsteps of
Musk and Trump and all these.
Musk
Yeah. It gets so
Zuckerberg
old.
and Bezos.
My thing is, like, how long can people talk about that stuff? It's
people
like,
continue to talk about
it's
him.
so bizarre. Like, once in a while we'll mention it, but I was like, I'm not making content around it. I'm not doing anything. So, like I said in the beginning of this stream, I think that there's going to be a lot of radical changes with how we build websites in the coming years. I think that we're not going to have to rely on WordPress at all. We're going to be able to just create our own content management systems, and then we'll have our own like framework that we could just keep using for clients. So I'm pretty excited for that, but we're also pretty excited about retirement too. So that's kind of a different perspective, is we don't want to be doing this. I'm like 43 right now. I'm like, in 10 years time, I don't want to be doing this crap anymore. I want to have enough money saved up where I'll be my 50s and 60s. I don't be touching websites anymore. That's kind of
that's the goal.
Yeah, I want to just be traveling and hanging out. We'll do something, but
yeah, I think we'll always do something. I don't know what that something is.
Yeah.
Maybe it's making videos. Because that's actually something that we both enjoy. I mean, for me, it's a lot more than I thought I was going to. I was really resistant to starting a YouTube channel, and then we did it, and I was like, "Wow, I actually really like doing this." It's funny how that happens.
I think it's one of the few mediums that if we look at the AI real quick, that's going to be one of the, not the last ones, but it's going to be harder to crack the AI inside of like animations and video. I think that's going to be a lot harder than like coding, like websites and stuff like that. It's a lot easier to to work. Yeah, retirement in the future. Yes.
Where are
Yeah.
you located?
Yeah.
Where do you live, Dave?
Yeah.
Do you know where he lives?
No, I think that yeah, in this country it's hard. It's really hard to like retire. And then the way it works in this country is there's like this American dream where you work at a corporation for 40 or 50 years and then you get this awesome pension and you have all this money in your retirement, but that's not reality in most cases. Like
Well, for some people,
there is no pension. You're not going to get a whole lot of money, especially if you heavily invest in like the stock market. And then if you retire when it's a bad year, like I don't tie our money into the stock market because
Oh, he lives in
London.
London.
Okay, cool.
Oh, cool. We love London.
Yeah, we went there once. We will be
We
back.
want to come back. Yeah, for sure.
London is
London is
pretty cool.
awesome.
Yeah.
We really like it there.
I definitely compared it to like a New York City. There was a lot of American influence. I noticed that when we were in London. I was like in a lot of areas it felt very
But yeah, I mean, they have like the McDonald's and
What was
all
that one?
stuff.
We went into a museum and it was like the pop culture of London, and we noticed that like as soon as the 80s and 90s happened, it turned into like American pop culture. So I think
Yeah.
that like a lot of people in the UK,
I think like kind of worldwide.
Yeah,
Like,
our pop culture
our
is-
movies and TV shows are popular all around the world.
yeah, we definitely like London.
Mm-hmm.
It felt it felt good. We stayed near the Hyde Park area.
We stayed in the hotel that Jimi Hendrix died in.
Yeah.
That was like their big like claim to fame, and they had all of these pictures of him and like even the key cards had his face on it, and I was like, that's kind of weird.
Yeah.
Like you want to be known as this is the place that Jimi Hendrix died.
It was right across from Hyde Park.
Yeah, it
I
was.
really
It was
liked
a
it, yeah.
really nice hotel, and we enjoyed it. But it was kind of funny to me that they were
Well,
like advertising that.
Now that we're well traveled, I have to admit every other country besides America has like a really good transit system. Like it's
Well,
clean.
at least that the ones that we've been to so far.
Yeah, the U.S. has a lot of influence everywhere. Yeah, yeah. I love the tube. There was very clean. Paris was a little bit more dirty when it comes to the transit,
but more
then
efficient.
more
for
efficient.
sure.
And then you come here in the United States,
Ugh.
like I was just in. We're right outside of Philadelphia, so we could take the train in. No joke, our train system it's disgusting. Like I saw rats. Human
poop.
feces, like it's not good, and that's like across the board.
You get in there and you don't want to touch anything.
Yeah.
It's like just like walk fast, don't breathe because it smells.
Because we came
don't
back
touch
from Japan and we saw how clean a major city can be, and I'm like, oh yeah, this could actually be copied over here in the United States. Like we could make New York City clean, but they don't do it because there's too much corruption and it's a culture thing too. Like
Yeah.
in this country,
I think that's a lot of it has to do with our culture and
well, you said
how
it
people
yesterday.
act.
In this country, we have this attitude of like somebody else will clean it up. You know,
Yeah.
I could throw this garbage on the floor and someone will pick it up. But in Japan, it's like you
They
take
don't-
your garbage with you and you
Yeah.
throw it away. Like it's I loved it. Like I'm a very clean person, and so I love the fact that like you don't just have garbage everywhere. Like
Yeah,
it
I mean,
makes
Philly particularly is a pretty dirty city,
Mm-hmm.
and it really bothers me when people act like that, where they're like, oh, well, this is someone else's problem. It's like, no, it's
Yeah.
your city. Like, you live here. Don't you want it to be nice? Like, throw away your trash. Don't throw it on the ground.
yeah.
And I hate, we were talking about this too, I hate when people are like degrading to service workers, like people that are like housekeepers or
Oh, they look down on.
yeah,
them,
like they look down on them. And it's like, that's a perfectly good job. Somebody's got to do it, and you should respect those people. Like, my mom used to clean houses, so maybe that has something to do with it. She had a house cleaning business. She was very successful. And the way some people treated her, not all, was just horrible. And it's like, you know, there's nothing wrong with
Yeah.
being a housekeeper. She took pride in it. She did a very good job. People really liked the work that she did, but there were some people that were just very rude and inconsiderate, and just like were just not good people. And I
Yeah.
think that's really common in America, unfortunately, and maybe not in some other countries too. I don't know, but I feel like in other places, like they don't do that as
No.
much.
Yeah, we have like this class-based system here in this country, but like the weirdest to me is like in this country, you show your wealth off by like, oh, look at the size of my house. Look how many cars I have. Look how many flat screen televisions I have in my house. It's like this weird flex, but I'm thinking that it is a much older generational thing. Like, you know, the X and the boomers, like that's like, oh, let me show you my McMansion. We live in a 1,200 square foot like home from the 1980s, and I'm happier here than I was. I used to have a huge 5-bedroom house, and I'm like, I don't care about that stuff. Like the older I get, the smaller I want. I want less responsibility.
Yeah.
Like I don't want to be 60, 70 years old living in a mansion. That's weird to me. Like I'm probably not like most people, I guess, but it's like this weird flex in this country. It's very bizarre to me because I'd rather live and travel.
Yeah, I mean, I don't judge how people spend their money. You can spend your money however you want as long as you have the money to spend. But yeah, there's definitely, I've noticed that people like kind of look down on us because we don't have this like big house or like all these cars and
I don't
like,
want it. We could have all that stuff.
we could have a bigger house if we wanted to, but like it's the two of us. What are we gonna do with all that space? You know, and like we don't drive much, so we only have one car, and that's not like a thing that we care about. What we care about is traveling. That's what we spend our money on.
Okay, we got someone new here, Floyd. First time hopping on live chat. Thanks.
Hi, where are you from?
Yeah. And then if you want, I'm curious, like how you found us, like what type of content, because like I said, on our YouTube channel, we're kind of all over the place. So maybe you found us because I make animation videos or whatever it may be. So yeah, that's something that we're definitely focusing on this year is just like, I'm taking swings, you know, whatever happens. But yeah, I like still making videos. Like I still make videos for the Crockablock channel. I love working with that team over there. You know what's crazy? I went on their website today and they have 70 people now. 70. I didn't know that. Yeah.
Wow, that's awesome.
That team is growing a lot. Yeah.
Well, they do really good work.
I think that I know a lot of people crap on like Elementor and stuff like that, but like I love when there's a big team behind these plugins because it makes me feel a little more secure about like using this on client websites.
That's true.
I kind of, if it's just a handful of people like developing something, I'm a little hesitant about that. Yeah.
My wife is in California. Even with her salary, she says retirement still feels like a distant dream, but she has no plans to move back. Meanwhile, I'm battling. So you're in India and your wife's in California? Holy cow.
Yeah.
That's far away. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Yeah. California is like a different level of
the
expensive.
The wealth of California is like one of the biggest GDPs in the world. It's insane.
Yeah,
There's so much money.
Yeah, it's so crazy. And like we love California to visit. Like I love going there. We've been to a bunch of different places in California, and it's beautiful. And I would love to live in like San Diego, but it's very expensive.
Yeah. It's you're paying a premium tax like just to live there.
It's lovely.
Yeah. What is it?
Meanwhile, I'm planting trees here for her, hoping. Aw, I hope you guys can be together soon. That sounds really hard. Like, the time change alone, like.
What part of India are you in? Because like, we've seen like. So I'm curious. So what was it? Was it Mumbai? Is that where it's very crowded? And we've seen like the trains, right, where it's like you got to like shove your way in. I was wondering if that's like always common, or is that just once like busy hours? Is it really like that, or is it like that all the time?
We've never been to India, but it looks very crowded.
Yeah. So as a white label, I'm just saying, how do you guys pitch your services? If you don't mind asking. You want to take that one?
So, we've just built relationships with a lot of different companies over the years, and I feel like the best way to do it is to just network and get to know people in your area or people in similar industries. That's how we've gone about it.
If you've worked with people, like we've white labeled for people who were past clients who, like they were like a graphic designer, they were like designing the websites for us. They would white label through us.
Yeah, so but it was all really like we just did a lot of networking. You know, join groups in your area, get to know people. Maybe you could try to use social media or like Reddit or something to just like get to
But
know
as
people.
far as like pitching, like it's hard to do that outreach. Like we haven't really found a way to
yeah.
like people will find us like through SEO. We haven't really tried it.
I mean, well, it's hard. I think like
You gotta have a relationship.
yeah,
first.
you have to build a relationship first. We have had people reach out. Like we had a big contract and the person actually reached out to us, but that wouldn't have happened if we didn't like meet and get to know each other. He was interested, reached out, said he followed us on YouTube and was like following our stuff. But then we met up and we're like, all right, this is a great fit. Like, this is exactly what we want. So it's just, you just got to get to know people, honestly. That's the best way to do it.
And, like, there's been situations, too, where if there's someone, like, that shows interest in, like, maybe in the future they might have other businesses. I don't know where I'm trying to go with this, but they're, you can have conversations with people and say, hey, we can be your web design team. Because if they want to scale and do other things, nothing will happen for months, maybe even years. But all of a sudden, they might be like, "Hey, I have some of these new clients coming in." So
yeah, it's definitely a long game.
Long game.
Like there's been, people that, we would talk for years and then finally like something happens. So you just have to nurture those relationships with people that you feel like would be good to work with.
How do you say that? Because I don't know how to say. We're bad.
Tamlanad. I'm so sorry. I'm totally butchering that.
So
South India.
Yeah, we love Indian food, and when we go to Indian restaurants here, we've learned that there's different the north. Well, the north and the south is different.
Oh yeah.
Like the area of India is different type of food.
Yeah. There's a few really good Indian restaurants around us. We just went to one a couple weeks ago, and he got a dish, and the server was like, how spicy do you want? And he's like, oh, like medium spicy. He's like, do you want Indian medium or American medium? Because Indian medium is very spicy.
Well, I said American spicy, and I was like, holy crap.
Yeah, but he was cool about it. He's like, you might want to go with the lower spice because you're white.
I like spice a lot, but I don't do it enough that my body is used to it. But I used to do it a lot more. I used to eat a lot more like Cuban food that had a lot of spices and stuff in it, but Indian's like one of our favorite dishes too.
There's so much flavor, like it's I don't even know like what the flavors are, but it's good.
Yeah, we love Indian, Thai foods, like way up there too. Vietnamese food.
We're all food.
Yeah,
there's not much we don't like.
We're pretty traveled, and we're gonna be going to some more of these countries, and I'm ready for some new food.
Yeah, I mean that's one of the main reasons that we like to travel is
and
because we like to try new food.
I'll go on record, and other people agree with me too. So in the United States, of course, like every state's different, but the Northeast, where we live outside of Philadelphia, we have the best food in the Northeast.
I
think so. We have the best sandwiches, best Italian food. There's like a good mixture
of different types of food.
Yeah.
And we've been all over America, and there's good food in like everywhere, but I feel like they kind of specialize in certain things, right? Like in Texas, like you go to Texas to get like barbecue brisket. You go to California to get like the tacos, and like San Diego, they're really good.
Yeah, but don't expect to get like a good slice of pizza or like find good quality meatballs or something.
Whereas like here, I feel like there's just like so many different types of people, and there's so many different types of food. And
the thing that like I'm from Florida originally, like so there's a lot of Cuban food down there. I miss the Cuban food. So you're not getting Cuban food outside of like Florida in this country. Like
you can, but it's not as
not
good.
The same. No.
Yeah.
So there are pockets where it's like you're not going to get certain types.
But you're also like not going to get like really good brisket like you get in Texas up here. But like we have it. It's
but if people are looking to come to the U.S., I always say the Northeast. If you're a foodie.
Oh,
I think Philadelphia.
Like food, yeah.
As much as we like to rip on Philly, how dirty it, I think Philadelphia has the best food in this country when it comes to big city. Like New York is up there, of course, but that's big and expensive. Philly is much smaller.
We also have like a variety where like you could get like really cheap food that tastes really good, You don't have to spend a lot of money, and then we have like really high end
Michelin
restaurant,
star, yeah.
Michelin star, James Beard award winning restaurants as well. So we have everything.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So yeah, all right, cool. So we kind of covered a lot today. Yeah, this was a fun little live stream.
We were
hour 20. Yeah.
dang.
So I think I think the software is good. I'm gonna test it and see. Yeah, this is the Ecamm software. I keep saying that because I'm like, I got to learn it. So you could do like all I showed you. You could do like cool overlays, and we can have people come in. So we're excited for this. Yes.
All right. Well, I don't know when our next live stream is going to be.
Maybe next week.
Yeah, we're going to try to get back into doing them more frequently. We just had a really busy like few weeks.
Yeah,
February
sometimes
was super busy. March has
we
been
travel.
really
Yeah.
busy.
Yeah, sometimes like we have the intentions of doing like something like create videos or go live stream, but then we'll get client work. Like client work always comes first, of course.
Right.
So there's times where I'm like, all right, let's do something, and then all of a sudden we got like days worth of work. So I'm like, all right, let's not do that. So
It's just how
this
it
isn't
is.
paying the bills yet, but
Yeah, but we enjoy
it's fun though. Yeah.
Thanks for joining us, and we'll
Have a
see you
good
soon.
weekend. Yep.
Bye.